Okay, cool. Yeah, simple goal for today's stream. If we're up and running already, what I want to get done is 4 leetcode problems, and that's it. So as soon as I can get that done, either me getting all the problems done or me getting hungry and wanting to stop. Um, yeah, whichever comes first is how we'll go. Because I just want to get 4 problems done today. If I do more, it'll probably be off stream. But just to start off the day well, that's the goal. Yeah, so I'm following the grind 75 list right now, which is on a website called techinterviewhandbook.org. So in case you want to find that, let me just copy the link for anyone who wants to see it later. Let's see. Can I even do that? Let's see. Yeah, okay, perfect. Let's do this way. There we go. So tech interview handbook, the link to the grind 75 list is there. Um, so the way that it works is it has kind of a build your own list type of functionality. So depending on how much time you have before an interview, it'll give you different problems to prioritize, which I think is really good. Yeah, so yeah, let's get into the first problem. So the problem is, I don't know what legal number it is because it only shows I have it sorted by topic. Um, Going over arrays right now. So the problem is gas station. Yeah, I haven't solved this before. It's good. I'm trying out different lists because there's a lot of problems that I haven't done before on a bunch of different lists. So I don't want it to be the case where I'm doing problems that I've solved already. If that makes sense. Um, cool. Okay, so gas station. There are n gas stations along a circular route where the amount of gas at the ith station is gas I. You have a car with unlimited gas tank and it costs cost I of gas to travel from the ith station to the I plus first station. You begin the journey with an empty tank at one of those gas stations. Okay. Given 2 integer arrays gas and cost, return the starting gas station's index if you can travel around the circuit once in the clockwise direction, otherwise return -1. Okay, let's try to draw it out. Let's go. Cool. So I'm gonna try Control the wrong tab. There we go. So I'm gonna pull this out. So we have this example here where we have our input of 2 arrays. So let's go like that. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, and our output is 3. So let's say output is 3. Okay, so we need to begin the journey with an empty tank at one of the gas stations. So we have okay, so let's visualize this. So we're starting at station 3, index 3. Okay, that didn't make sense before. So starting at index 0, 1, 2, 3, fill the tank up at station 3. So we also use 1. Travel to station 4, your tank equals 4 minus 1 plus 5. That's true. 4 minus 1 plus 5. Okay, so essentially we need to go kind of like this. So we're starting at this station, right? So our gas tank goes from 0 to 4. Then we go here, where we get 5. This would be 9, but we subtract the cost of 1. So minus 1. We get 3 plus 5 goes to 8. Or, my bad. So what's it? Plus 4 minus 1 plus 5. We get 8. And then we should have us going back to the start of the array. But since we're subtracting 2 here, that's 6 plus 1 gas. Right, plus 1 gets 7. And then just all the way until we get back to the starting position. Okay. So essentially we're building some sort of circuit. So we need like in the logic we need to find a way to actually return to the start. So it's not going to be as simple as just using the array. Yeah, it's a greedy algorithm. A bit tricky. Think about it. Okay, so is there I'm trying to think about if there's like a trick to the problem. So like a starting point, like a way to find the starting point. Because I feel like beyond finding the starting point, the actual logic for the solution isn't hard. Um, So we have n gas stations. So okay, let's first deal with what we know, I guess. So we have n being like gas dot length. Cost is the same length, but since we're told n gas stations, gas makes more sense. For the variable, we have cost. We have a car with unlimited gas. But we start at has unlimited capacity, but we start at 0. Okay, so should I say tank equals 0, starting off at 0. So starting off at 0, we're going to travel from the I station to the I plus first station. Just need a quick way to terminate if we're not getting the right solution. I guess one way we could do it is making sure that we keep we have to make sure the total is positive, right? Because if we go negative or have 0, right, we are negative, and we can't have negative gas, so that would be the way to determine whether we're correct or wrong, if that makes sense. Let's try, so we have tank. Let's say start index. Yes, should start at 0 to try and find it. No better index to start at. Right, let's try, what else do we need? Again, let's try something simple. So we need to go through the entire array, right? So for is 0 as this, then in I plus dot. So take tank plus equals to gas I. So we want to do like a running sum with this gas I minus cost I. Right, so in the first instance, we're adding 1, subtracting 3. But we go negative, so that's not possible. So we can't start at 1. That makes sense. This what makes this tricky. Okay, let's try. Let me use like really descriptive names. Before we do that, let's say like it's gas spent plus gas I minus cost I. That should make more sense. And then we should take okay, I think a better idea now. So keep total of tank or tank and total. So we'll say gas spent. So we add to our tank, like plus equals total 1 2 plus equals gas spent, and total plus equals gas spent. And then within the same loop. I want to check if our tank less than 0. So we go negative. We want to start at a different index. Start index plus plus plus. Right? So we'll upgrade that. So we just need to find an index that we can actually start at. That makes sense. So beyond that point, and say, let's say we try doing that. I don't know how to do it without drawing it out. But let's say we have 1, 2, 3, 5, like here, and should probably make this bigger for the stream. Yeah, that's better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. So that's our cost. This is our gas. So what I'm saying is we try using 1 here, but our cost is 3, so we get 1 gas, spend 3 gas, so we were at -2, so we can't start here. So then we would change our start index to 2, but since we keep a track of our total already, we would reset our tank to 0. We have nothing in the tank when we're starting again. But then for the total that we have, we would still keep that the same. Because we want to have a positive total at the end. Just want to make sure we have that. I'm pretty sure. Because we're not like changing the index, if that makes sense. So what I think what I want to do is, so let me just think about it this way. So we go, let me just keep an array holding the values at each index. We have -2 sum here. At 2, we spend 4, we have -2 again. 3 and 5, we have -2, the difference. 4 and 1 plus 3, 5 and 2 plus 3. So yeah, so it's possible with a sum of 0. So our total will end up being 0, right? So as long as we have more than 0 gas, because we just about make it, that should be the solution. So that's what I mean. So yeah, it's a lot clearer when you actually do it out like this. So yeah, in total we have -6 plus 6, which is equal to 0. And because we're keeping track of this total, we know that it's actually possible. So the only thing that we need to do is find the first index where we can have positive gas, so that we know that's the index that we want to start at. So we get index 3. So then at the end, I think if I just say return total is greater than or equal to 0, this should work. Right, what's it? Like this. There. Incompatible types, Boolean cannot be converted to int. I'm not trying to convert it to an int. Should just not evaluate as a Boolean. What's that not work? Oh wait, yeah. You need the index. So it should be return start index. Yeah, but we need to use the total as well because we only get 2. Oh, yeah, okay, okay. Let me think about it. So return if our total greater than or equal to 0, we return start index. Otherwise, we return -1. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Um, running the solution. Okay, 26 out of 40. We're getting closer. Um, so why doesn't it work for this? So going with the process that I was thinking of, we have starting at index 0, positive sum. So yeah, we start off with positive gas. We have 1, -3, it's -2, +1, -1, -2, 3. So we get 0 again. But then we are trying to find the index that we're meant to start at. It should be 4. So let's see. Well, we could start here because it's positive. Because it had, but we can't get here because this is negative, right? So negative, negative. So we increase 1. So start index goes up once, goes up once, goes up once again. Interesting. So I'm going to get to that. Maybe it's how we're updating this. So maybe it doesn't go up by 1. So say, for example, I used I instead of just incrementing by 1. It would make sense. So say we're at index 0 right now, and we're positive, which is fine. So now we're index 1, and we get negative gas. So we say that our start index, we can't start here. So we set that to I+1, which would be 1, 2. So we start at index 2. This is positive. That's fine. What we get here, and we end up with negative because we go by -2. So then we get I+1 again. Right. But then we get to here, and it's positive, and we can keep that positive all the way through. So we set I+1, which gives us index 4. So rather than saying start index is plus plus, we say start index equals I+1. Cool. Okay, lovely. Solution found. That was an interesting problem. So I don't really get the greedy, I guess. I mean, maybe I do. I understand the solution, but the greedy side, I'm not too sure on, because I know we're looking for the first. Not really the first, but we're looking at for any index where, when we sum, we don't have a negative sum. And if we find a sum where we are negative, we know the solution is possible. Um, Yeah, so if we get to a negative tank at any point, the solution is impossible. So then we move our pointer. Yeah, all in all, interesting problem. Um, Worth the solve. Uh, First problem of the day. So it was a bit slow. Okay, next problem is longest consecutive sequence. This one I'm pretty sure I have solved, or I've solved subsequence. So yeah, solve this one. So if the solution is there, I'll just reset it. Okay, we're good. We're good. Given an unsorted array of integers, return the length of the longest consecutive elements sequence. So consecutive by way of actually being +1, or yeah, okay, in terms of positioning. Okay. So I guess let's go over different solutions. One solution we can have is inefficient, with it being that we could just sort the array, iterate over it, and check if the next element, or we start at the second element, so starting from index I plus 1, so index 1 is the first index of our loop. We would check to see if the element at that index is not equal to, or if the element at that index is equal to the previous element plus 1, then we would increment a counter, and then if it's not, then we would just um yeah, so we keep a running track of the max length of the sequence, and then if it's not equal to that element plus 1, we would reset the counter to 0, but we still have the max length, so then at the end we would just return the max length, if that makes sense. Otherwise we would just use like I guess one, yeah, we have a number of approaches. One is two pointer, one is just a single pointer with sorting. um I guess sliding window as well. If okay, so sliding window, no. But yeah, so a hash set, counters. Yeah, okay. Let's just try a few. Let's see, because I feel like there's a lot of ways to approach this problem. Um, so yeah, let's try. So if we have no numbers, base case check. So if nums is null, or wait, no, if nums has no elements in it, so the length is 0, we can just return the longest consecutive sequence would be 0. And then if nums.length is equal to 1, we can just return 1 because we have one element. And if we have one element, we know that the sequence is going to be length 1. But we don't know that if we have a length greater than 1. Because, for example, we could have an array that has 1 in it. If we had a length of 2, and then the second element could be 100, which wouldn't evaluate to be true. Or we could have 2, so there's no way of knowing. Unless you were to, that it would be a bit like pointless at that point, but you could do something like if nums.length was 2, and nums0 is equal to nums1 minus 1, something like that, then we would return 2. But yeah, it's a bit like, it's not good code, if that makes sense. Okay. Let me just get some water real quick. All right. Okay, so the next part of the solution would be, so we have the length being 1, we return 1. Yeah, so we would sort the array. So arrays.sort numbers, and then loop over. So we'd say for int or we'd say, let's say yeah, okay, let's do something like length. So int length is 1, or sequence length, or something like that. Sequence length equals 1, because individual elements will give us a length of 1. And then we say max length would also be 1, starting at 1. So for int I equals 1, so we start at the second index then. Starting at the second index, so less than numbers length plus plus. So then we would check if nums I is equal to nums I minus 1 plus 1, then you would say sequence length plus plus. Or rather, what we would do is if nums I is not equal to this, yeah, so if it's not equal to it, we would say that we reset this. So sequence length equal to 1. I'm just trying to think about the cleanest way of writing it out, because we could easily just say that if it's equal to it, we say sequence length would go up. And then here we would say else sequence length goes back to 1, and then outside of this, we could say max length would be equal to max length and sequence length. Yeah, so then here we would just return sequence length or return max length. Wait, okay. This should have a capital L. Okay, so what's wrong with this? We output 2, but we're expecting 3. Why? So we start with a sequence length of 1, but we started 0. Start with, okay, let's do it like this. So we sorted this, so we should have 0, 1, 1, 2. And we're checking, okay, we start with a sequence length of 1. That's fine. So we're starting at the first one in the array. So we're checking, is my length wait, why are we expecting 3? Oh wait, we have 0, 1, 2. Oh, wait, so we don't sort the array. Okay. So, yeah, okay, that's fine. Because we just want the consecutive sequence anyway. So, okay, so what does that change? Right, so we would sort it. And then this is 0, 1, 2, but we can't get there. Oh, okay. Okay, I see now. So what I could do instead is, I guess this is going to increase the space complexity, but what I could do is uh, make a hash set to keep track of numbers that we've already seen, or the unique new hash set to keep track of unique integers, because we need all integers here to be unique. Yeah, so we need to make sure that we are using unique integers all the way through. So have a unique hash set. Um, Set integer unique equals a new hash set. That's fine. And then for every number, for each in nums, we'll say unique dot add num. That's fine. So then over this, we're not going to go. But then again, yeah, the array still needs to be sorted. So need sort it. Getting a bit messy, but that's fine. So then here we would go, instead of looping over nums, we would loop over unique. So for a num in nums. So we'll say if so something like I guess we might not need this actually, not need the sorting. So it'd be more like if unique dot contains num minus one, then we increase the length, else we reset the length back to one, and we say max length equals. Yeah, okay, let's try that. Okay, we got three, but we're expecting four. Let me try removing this case. Yeah, because you might not need that. Okay, I'm getting closer. Okay, so we get 4 instead of 3 here. Why? Oh, wait, yeah, okay. So for every number unique. Yeah, okay. Let's try that. It's not very efficient, but okay, it still doesn't work. Okay. Okay, let's reset this and think about it a bit more. Runs an O event time. Okay. So we can't sort. Something to think about. Can't sort, but I can add to a hash set. Or I could use a hash map, right? But using a hash, I feel like using a hash set is the more efficient way to go because we don't really need the way I'm thinking about it. I don't think we need the keys in the map. If that makes sense. Because I feel like we're just um overcomplicating it and adding extra overhead with the key. Wait, okay. Wait, I mean before I actually start all the way over again, what I think I should have done is check if we have nums plus one or num plus one. Because it should be the same, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's the same. Yeah, 'cause I haven't solved this in over a year, so um, need to find the trick to the solution. I feel like this is one of the easier mediums as well, so just need to lock in for a bit. Um, okay, let me try something. Okay, so maybe we have okay, so we have our hash set. It's not exactly array structure, but it keeps everything in the same space. So we have 104, 200, 1, 1, 3, and 2. So what I'm thinking of doing is we store everything in the set. Should be 4. Store everything in the set. So the set will basically be something like this. And what I want to do is check for every number in here. Do we have that number? Okay, we need to make sure that it's the start of a new sequence, but also maintain the length of the sequence as well. So And to know if it's the start of a new sequence, we need to check if we have the number -1. So if we don't, then we just increase the length, right? Because otherwise we're doing like weird additions. So I mean, let me just like get rid of all of this and that. So we have this here. So let's say set unique to extra. So if I already know. So then for so this is where we keep track of, say, the like it's like we'd be starting at 1 as well. So for each unique element in here, I want to be able to check if, let's say, if not unique, dot contains no -1, then we start a new sequence. So we say, I can do it like this. We can say that length equal to 1, and then let's just say if unique dot contains num +1, then we say like plus plus. And then we would set unique, or we would set max length is equal to the max max length, and like, and then here we would just return like, I don't know if this is the exact same as what I was doing before, but it looks different. Okay, so this fails. Why? We get 1 here instead of 4. So we check if unique doesn't contain nums -1. Oh, okay. I see the problem now. Because we're checking if we don't contain number -1. So here, 100, we don't have 99. So the length is still 1. 4, we have 3. 4, we have 3. So yeah, like, I feel like the more I think about it, the more I'm complicating it. Let me just look at what I had when I solved it last, because I don't want to spend too much time stressed over a solution, right? Okay, so the last solution I did was not efficient at all, which makes sense. So similar to what I'm looking to do now, we add each number, the longest is there. So if the set, okay, so if we have the number -1, And okay, so it's similar to this, but let's say, wait, do we say if we have number minus one? No, if we don't have it, yeah. So it's the exact same. So we're saying if we don't have, it's not unique, contains minus one, and we contains num plus one. Okay. So do we start a new counter? Okay, okay. So rather than having a set length outside here, wait, no, I returned length. That's the problem, right? Should definitely be max length. Wait, let me just go back to my old selection. Yo, TKN, what's up? I feel like this should work. Okay, so wrong answer, 37. So the problem here is that we've got, it's expecting 3 for the longest consecutive. So by consecutive, what do they mean? Because I feel like it's the, okay, yeah, plus 1 each time. I thought there were like 2 ones, but one's negative. Yo, TKN. Glad you found the stream, man. Also, thanks for the sub, I think. Not too sure, because for some reason my alerts are broken. But the sub count did go up for a bit. So thank you. Thank you for that. Thanks for being here, if you're still here. Um, just think about it. Okay, so we're gonna return max length no matter what. So let me just go back to what I was thinking before. So we'll say if num or if unique doesn't contain num minus one, but it does contain num plus one. What do we want to do? So we don't have num minus one, but we have num plus one. We want to start a new counter. So that's where we're gonna pull here. So say length is equal to one, right? So the length is equal to one. So then we want to say as long as we have that next, as long as we have that next element, we want to keep increasing the length. That makes sense. Is what I'm trying to do at least. So but then again, if I start a new counter here, like let me go back to my old solution actually, just to make sure. Because what I'm thinking is if I start a new counter here and I go to the next character, since we're evaluating starting a new sequence every single time, if we don't have the previous, what I'm thinking, do I just say if we do have the previous? So but I can't say that in here. Yo, what's up, Cuddy? Are people like finding the stream now? That's it's kind of weird. Like, um, glad to have you watching. I'm trying my best to figure this out right now. Um, so nice, nice. I don't know how it got to recommended because I didn't put any tags or anything on the stream. Just plugged in the title. But that's pretty cool. Um, yeah, thanks for popping in. I'm just grinding LeetCode for interviews. Um, if the length is 0, we need. Okay, I'm just because I can't be bothered with this. Too tired and hungry for this. Um, okay, so last time I solved this, even if I look now, I'm gonna try get the optimal solution after. So start a new counter. Oh, okay, that makes sense. There's always something that makes this shit weird. I won't lie. Wait, let's see. Um, so basically, you want to say while we have it's so simple when you actually look and then you're trying to convince yourself that you actually understand it. Because looking at it now, I get it, but um, yeah, I wish I got it on my own. Uh, I'm saying that now, not even knowing if it's gonna work or not. But like, let's see. So while unique contains nums, or we want to see if we have the number plus the length, right? So, so while we have the number plus length, so for example, over here, we start at 100. We don't have 99, so we're starting a new sequence. And we don't have 101, so we can't even bother with the sequence. So here we have 3. Yeah, exactly, Cuddy. Um, yeah, because I tried to, like, yeah, as you saw, like I tried 3 different ways that I thought were gonna be correct at the start. Um, but I guess like the more you kind of hack away at them, the clearer it starts to get. And I'm that kind of person where I don't mind looking at the solution if I can't get it, because it does help. So I'm gonna come back to it at some point as well. So looking at the solution, coming back, trying it a different way, trying it it helps. It helps. So all is not lost. But yeah, it is frustrating. Uh, but it's a learning experience. Let's see. So while unique, we have nums plus length. I'm assuming because I've already forgot what was on the solution. So, um, while we have nums plus length, so do we have 5? No. So we're not gonna have that there as well. We're gonna say that um while we have that, I'm assuming, so say we're starting at 1 here, so we have to, we're gonna increase length, and then we're gonna set max length. be equal to the max length of the max length, and then if we were to return that, see if it works. Okay. Fingers crossed. Okay, let's go. All right, let's go. I think it's even actually more efficient than the one that I'd submitted the first time. Um, Maybe because of how I handled the loop, or maybe I'm just coping. I might be hard coping right now. Let's see. All right, so this one. Yeah, so I think the only difference here between the two is I update the max length within the loop, and then here I do it outside the loop. So in this one, it's inside. So I wonder how that actually W's for sure. W's for sure. Um, let's see. Um, yeah. So what I was saying is I'm wondering how or if at all this affects, because like the solution is right no matter what, but I'm just wondering how it affects time complexity. Because was it a two? Yeah. So like that. So here it took 32 milliseconds, right? But this one took 1,000, so it's a bit weird. So I just want to try it out. See. Yeah, so it's the same here. I wonder what's different. Or maybe it's like the base case checks or something. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna move that back. I just want to, because I'm genuinely curious why this is so much more inefficient. Let me see if I can like move that here, right, and just compare them. Okay, so it couldn't just be the checks, right? Yeah, because here I'm checking if we have a null array. If it's empty, that's fine. If we have a length of one, like, yeah, we just return one, but that shouldn't be such a key factor that it's oh, okay. Okay, I think I get it. So I prob a year ago, because I think I was new to leetcode back then, when I started doing the problems here, I probably didn't even check what I was iterating over. So here I'm iterating over nums, the array of all the numbers, right? And then when I'm trying to find what the set actually has inside it, I'm iterating over nums again, which I don't need to do. Because if I'm looking at all the duplicates, right? Or looking without duplicates, we're looping. We should be looping over the set, but I'm looping over the array and checking the set. So, say for example, if I switch this to nums, I think it should have the same complexity as the last one, which is the bad one. Yeah, so we exceed the time limit. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Because I think the problem's changed since then to be more strict on time. Because a lot of LeetCode problems have actually been reviewed and changed. So yeah, okay, that makes sense. Cool. Okay. W code read. Okay, let's go. So actually, what is the like most optimal? Because I'm not too concerned with getting it like incredibly optimal. as far as interviews go, because I feel like O of N for both time and space is pretty optimal. And then the only ones up here would be like competitive programming solutions that are just made to work. Yeah. So in terms of like cleanness of code for like production and stuff, this probably isn't optimal or unnecessary, really, for the difference. I mean, let's see. Yeah, so still, wait, this is sorting, and it's more efficient somehow. Wait, do I sort here? No, I don't. Okay. I guess it's because I used two loops. Yeah, anyway, doesn't matter. Okay, perfect. That's one problem down again. So we're at two problems done. Two more to go for today. Um, oh, and if you're curious, I am currently doing the grind 75 list. Um, I did post the link in there at some point, but I can do it again just in case it's not there. So yeah, this is the list I'm doing right now. So it works a bit differently to other lists. So you can kind of customize it based off of how soon your interview is. So it gives you different problems based on that to make sure you're ready. So yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. Okay. So the next problem is I'm in like the array section right now. So I'm just trying to improve or warm up my array skills. Ooh, that's a good question actually. Okay, so you're a freshman doing AI and DS. I'm assuming is data science or something similar as your major and got into programming and stuff. What do you think is the best way to actually learn programming through your experience, if you don't mind? So for actually learning programming fundamentals, I would say find something that you're interested in, whether it's like uh, game dev or web design, or even if you're doing like AI DS, so machine learning and stuff. Pick something that you're interested in. Find a project that you want to build. So for AI machine learning stuff or data science, say like recommender systems. So if you like movies, you could build, or like you don't need to know how to do it. Try to find like GitHub repos of people who use the code or even use AI. AI is helpful, but don't let it write the code for you. Take the slow approach and just kind of learn as you go. I think there's I can give you a good GitHub repo. Um, what is it called? Yeah, it's called Build Your Own X, right? So yeah, so project-based learning is probably the approach I'd go as far as learning how to program and getting better at programming. Because I say the best approach is actually building yourself. So stuff like LeetCode, like this, isn't really helpful if you don't already know how to code, because it's not really working your coding skills. It's more so problem solving. But yeah, getting better at coding, I feel like the best way to approach it is having fun while you're coding. Yeah, so if you have a GitHub account, this is very useful. Yeah, so this repo here, so build your own X. If you see it in the chat, it's just a bunch of projects that you can look at, and I think they have step by step guides. Yeah. And if you're not gone, thanks for that. I can also leave my own GitHub here so you can look at some of the projects I've done if you're looking for inspiration or something. yeah, but like just go crazy. Anything you're interested in, just try. Like, 'cause I think that's what makes or separates good programmers from those who aren't so good is just the amount that they code and just interest. So there's no point in building something that you're not interested in. It's better to just, do what you want. Nice. Wish you luck on the journey, man. Because programming is really fun when you do what you're actually interested in. Like, there's no point in just like going down the rabbit hole doing stuff because everyone else is doing it. Because whenever I get bored, I just do something different. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I'm missing. Um, yeah, totally, man. I'm planning on streaming a lot more. So, like, if you catch me one of these days, I'm open for discussion. Like, thank you, man. Thank you. So if you pop in, if you have any questions while I'm streaming, I don't mind. I can answer. If it's something I can answer, I'll totally do that. And if I'm not streaming, if you reach out, like if you have Twitter or Discord, you can message me there as well. No worries, man. Oh, nice. I can't check right now, but yeah, I just created it like a couple of days ago, so I will start managing stuff there after stream. So yeah, I'll manage everything after there. So yeah, no worries. Gonna get back into the leak code now though. Okay, so the next problem is rotating an array. Okay, so I'm pretty sure I've done this before. Or better yet, yeah, okay. Yeah, so I've done this already. That's fine. Okay. This is one of the types of problems where drawing it out is probably the easiest way to like remember how to do it, right? So let's see. Oh wait, no, this is rotate array. I was thinking of rotating a matrix. This is a binary search problem. No, two pointers. Okay. Okay, let me. It's still the kind of problem where drawing it out helps. Let's try that. Do I have? Right. I have dark reader on. Can I toggle that off for a second? Yeah. Okay. So what I want to do is, yeah. Okay. So wait, I need my sample data. Um, cool. Just copy the problem like this. Oops. Okay, so given an array nums, we want to rotate the array to the right by k steps where k is non-negative. Example 1, k is equal to 3. Explanation, rotate 1 step to the right. I kind of remember how I did it a while ago, and I don't know how long ago it's been. It's probably been a couple of months. But just from like study, I know that like triple reverse is probably a way to do it. So, for example, when we're reversing 1 to 7, 1 space to the right, right? So what we do is we first reverse like this. So wait, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then we would reverse it like fully from the start to finish. So then we'd end up with 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then we would end up reversing from the first index to the end. So we'd start at k basically, where k is index 1, right? So starting here, we reverse from here as well. So then we end up with 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The only thing I'm wondering about is if we get a number bigger than the length of the array. I forgot how we're meant to handle that. So say for example we get I think it's probably just a modulus or something. So say we got a number like 11. So but what is it the modulus of? I guess it would be the length of this modulus k. So for example this or let me do it like an even number. So we have, how do I get this so it, for the same point, I want to have it remainder 1. So we have 7 elements here. We shift by 1, get here. So say for example, if I did k was 8 for example, and I go 7 mod 8 would be equal to 1 because we have a remainder of 1 left over. Or wait, no. Would it be k mod n, not n mod k? Because I think we don't have a remainder if I do it this way. Because I can't forget just simple math, right? Because if I do 7 mod 8, I think it's still 8, right? Or 7 mod 8. Or 7, I mean. Because, yeah, okay. Because we still have that 7, right? Let me see. Yo, what's up? What's up, man? A lot of people have been finding this stream, which is surprising, since I wasn't expecting to have any viewers this stream at all. Um, it's more so just to hold myself accountable while I'm prepping. But yo, what's up? What's up, man? What's up, man? Yeah, yeah. A bunch of people have been saying that too, which is great. Blessed by the algorithm right now, because I don't know how it even happened. Because like I didn't use any tags or anything in the title. Just kind of started stream. So are you into like software dev or software engineering stuff like that? Let's see. Yeah, totally, totally. Because I streamed a lot last year. Um, damn, damn, you must be smart. I've never tried Rust because it just seems way too complicated. Yo, thanks for the sub. Thanks for the sub. I started a Discord as well. By the way, if you want to join or anything, I'm trying to build a community. I'm trying to build this grind. And one day I will try Rust, just not today. So thanks, man. Thanks, man. It's a bit bare bones right now. Cause I created the Discord like 2 days ago. Just haven't done much on it, but hopefully trying to get all of that sorted in the next few days. Um, I mean, as far as like languages, um, for development, I'm more familiar with high level languages just because of work. So I've coded in Java, Python, what else? Yeah, just JavaScript, TypeScript, all that kind of stuff. But in like college, we did do C sharp, C plus plus, and stuff like that. So I do get the like principles of low level programming, and I feel like if I did get into it, I would prefer it because of how much control you have over memory and all that. But I just haven't had the time because right now I'm just grinding for interviews and stuff. Yeah, but what about you, man? Are you like still in school or are you working? Oh, finally, these commands are working. I need to find a better alternative to Nightbot because Nightbot works better on Twitch. It doesn't work on YouTube. Nice. So, are you studying CS? Because if you're studying CS, like you're safe from the job market right now because you're still in school, and hopefully it gets better by the time you're done. I mean, for front end, HTML and CSS is really all you need with some JavaScript. Um, yeah, if you don't go too high level, yeah, you can do a lot with them. Oh, you're in ninth grade. Wow. I mean, you're starting early, which is great. So the more you do now, like you'll be flying. You'll be flying. Like there's so much opportunity, especially now. Like if you start building some projects, like get them get them done. Start building a portfolio. Like you be cracked. You're thinking about building an OS. Yeah, that's a really good project as well because it's going to teach you basically if you don't know them already, like it's going to strengthen your fundamentals. You're going to learn complex things as well. So it's yeah, and also it'll be frustrating, but it's definitely one of the more rewarding. I feel like if at your age, if you're in ninth grade, there's so much you can do. So if you build a bunch of projects and you build like a resume, um, I can try to find a resume format right now as well while we're talking. So yeah, so you build a resume, build a few projects, either go the internship route. I don't know about internships for someone in ninth grade. I don't know how it works because normally you do it through a university. But what I would recommend is if you have any, while you're learning fronted, if you have any um, local businesses or businesses around you, or even like if they're far away, if you can reach out to them maybe through calling or emailing, like you build them websites and learn about like hosting websites and stuff, and you can do that. It's a good way to build experience because you can put it down as contract work or even like try and frame it as an internship in some kind of way. So then when you actually have the experience as well, especially being in ninth grade now, going into college or even before college, you can get work at higher levels. So if you have paid work experience, you can then use that to get internships at like bigger companies. But then again, now that you're learning Rust, I feel like as a Rust dev, you could probably make more money because it's a domain specific language. So people looking for Rust devs, especially now, because Rust is in really high demand. Because like there's a lot of companies that are like completely scrapping their current infrastructure and just rebuilding in Rust because of how fast it is. Yeah, so like yeah, and plus you have time. Like you can try a bunch of different things out, see what works. Um, okay, which template is this? One sec. I'm sorry. Yeah, okay. So I have two templates right here. I think this is the better one. You can change it up a bit as well. If you're familiar with latex um and markdown and stuff like that, this is probably the most commonly used format. Yeah, and I was saying that to there was a guy in the stream earlier. Um, if you're looking for like projects and stuff to build, you can follow me on GitHub, or just even if you don't want to do that, there are I don't know if all of the links from before in the chat are still there. But yeah, I can put them in again. So this is the um what would be better is that I can give you the links now, but I'll also put like a links channel in the Discord as well if you can't find this later. Um yeah, so here's a wait, okay, that did not copy. That's my bad. Where's the link to this? even share this. Okay, I think I got it. Nice, thanks, man. I'm gonna try and make like add a bunch of resources there to help people, just to make things easier on everybody, so everyone can learn at the same time. It'll be yeah, that's what I'm aiming for at least. Because things in tech are kind of hard right now, so I feel like the more people that you have in your network, like the more people you know who are building and stuff, it's very motivating. Um, yeah, so that's kind of the goal of the streams and everything, and the community I'm trying to build. So everybody's welcome. Everyone's welcome to build. Let's see. We need to find. Oh, okay. There we go. Got it. Lovely. Cool. So this is the resume template. Um, this is the link to the GitHub repo for projects, and this is my own GitHub. So the link to that, if you just want to look for inspiration for some projects as well. Yeah, no worries, man. Really, because I wish like when I was your age, I was doing what you were doing. Because like the younger you start, the easier everything is. So being in ninth grade, doing all of that, like any way I can help, trust, I'm gonna help. Like even like on stream, you have any questions and I'm streaming, you can pop in. If I'm not streaming, yeah, just pop questions in the Discord. I'll try to check as much as I can. Um, yeah. I got a bit sidetracked. Yeah, I think I was talking about moduluses or moduli for this problem here. Um, so yeah, let's say 8 mod 7. So k mod n, not n mod k. So k mod n. Yeah, okay. Anyway, pretty sure I have the idea. I mean, with how much the stream is getting recommended right now, I'm kind of, I kind of want to keep streaming. I'm very motivated right now, but once the stream hits 2 hours, I'm probably gonna have to stop. So I think after this, the next problem is probably my last for today, at least. I'll probably stream tomorrow as well. Um, let's see. So having a helper function to rotate. Right? That's, Okay, so let's get a. I guess we can customize this function a bit. So private void reverse our array. So it's an array of integers called array and a starting index. So it's a starting index. So I want to say that actually, to actually implement the reverse, you need a swap. So private void swap. But do I need the indices? Like, or I mean, do I need to include the array in the swap? Obviously, yeah. So the int array, we're gonna have an int. No, wait. Swap. Yeah, swap into a, or say swap left and right, right? So then it's just a very basic swap. So I'm gonna say int temp. It's gonna be, all right, make this be called array. Put the array left, so we're storing array left within temp. We're gonna actually then say array left equal to array right. So we swap those two and then say that array right is equal to temp. So we store array right, or we set array right to be equal to the stored value of left that we put inside temp. So that should work. Then for int I is equal to start index, right? So start I is less than. Wait, we don't need to leave over this. That makes no sense. So we'll say int left is equal to start index, right? And then int right with the array dot length minus one, and then while we have an overlap, so while left is less than right, could say that would say that what am I trying to say? So while left is less than right, I want to say that that left yeah, I just want to swap. So swap this swap array left. Wait, why am I doing it like that? So including the array, swap left, right, perfect. And then left gets increased, right gets decreased. Okay, that should be fine. And then first step in shifting the array will be the reverse. Now I'm just starting at that's the problem. What am I thinking? This is probably where the modulus comes in. Wait, can I go back here? So let me say if I had index 0, right? Right, okay. Right. I didn't want to delete that. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, so I want to reverse nums, the array, right? And my starting index, I want to be 0. Then I want to reverse again, starting at k, right? But I feel like saying k modulus event won't work. Let me see. Yeah, what's wrong here? Oh, it should be nums. How did that use square brackets? Let's swap. Yeah. Oh wait, nums not length. I thought I defined that already. Yeah, so yeah, I was expecting that to be wrong. That's fine. Um, okay, so we were meant to move that 3 spaces. So if I started this at k instead of k modulus, what did that do? So 7, 6, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, so that's wrong. So if I reverse this, 5 should be at the start. So let me think about how to get 5 there. So 3 spaces. Cool. Let me just so maybe the thought process was wrong because I feel I'm thinking of a couple of ways of doing this. So if I so say k is 3 and I go up 3 spaces, or is it 2 spaces? So I go up 1, 2, 3. Or is it n minus k spaces? I can't remember. And I don't want to look it up because I know I can figure this out. Right? So even if it's like really brute forcey in the way that I'm thinking, not like coming from a place of logic, I feel like I can do this. So k is 3, we get 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4. To get the 1, 2, 3, 4 part, I know that this should stay just fine. But let's say I've reversed this to have 7. So this reversed, yeah. So I'd have 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But then what separates this 5, 6, 7? So then I would go up 3 spaces, right? Reverse that, get 5, 6, 7, and then reverse the other half, right? To get 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yeah, okay. That's what I was trying to do. So reverse the entire thing, reverse from 0 to k. So I need a start index, end index. Okay. Why do I keep opening this? Um, end index. So it's saying index. No, I know. This can just be end index one. First, we start at something -1. Then we reverse from 0 to k. And then I would reverse from k plus 1. So from k plus 1 to let me solve that constant again. Oops. Okay, so this is an off by 1. So I'm basically solved it already. But the reason why it's not working is that I'm 1 off somewhere. So is that because of this part or what? So should this really have just been -1 here? Because I don't think that's going to work. 4, 5, 6, 3. Yeah, okay, that messed us up. So I think this is fine, but it's just how I'm doing this here. So I wish there was a way I could debug it on LeetCode without having premium. Anyway, let's review it a bit. So we have left equal to start index. That's fine. Our start index is fine. Let me just reverse or rerun it so I can see the current state. So we need this 4 back up at the top. And the only reason it's not there right now is because I'm shifting by 5 spaces instead of 4. And why is that? So if I start from k plus 1, so this should be k minus 1, and this should be k, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there we go. Easy. Okay, what's wrong now? We get an out of bounds error on array right. Why? For length 1. Okay, let's do some boundary checks. Or should this be, because I don't think this should be the way it works. Saying less than equal to. Yeah, it won't work. Okay, we'll say easy to solve if, right, no, not up here. Read that wrong. Okay, if nums.length is equal to 1, you can return 1. Or you can just return nums. Or we just return since it's the same array, right? Okay. But index 6 out of bounds for length 2. Okay, so this is what I was on about with the modulus part. Okay, let me just move the chat up a bit. Okay, so that's the deepest it'll go. Okay, so this is where the modulus would come in, right? So can I say, hopefully this works, into n is equal to nums.length. K modulus nums.length, right? So then I could say n minus 1, k minus 1, and n minus 1 here. So, okay, so that makes it wrong. We just get the same array. Or is it k modulus nums.length? I think that's, wait, did I just write the same thing twice? Yeah, I did. Nums.length modulus k. Yeah, there's a modulus somewhere. That's all I know. Or maybe there isn't. Maybe my math and everything is just completely wrong. I don't want to throw away the solution. So I feel like it's close. What is okay? Might as well, because I think it is close. Rotate the array. Okay, let me just see what I wrote down, the notes. I don't want to look at the code. Right. Right, okay. I was a wiser man back then. So I say if nums is null, obviously, or nums not, yeah, we just return like that, then here's what I wanted to do. So I can say if nums dot length is greater than or equal to k, because we can't exceed that, we want to actually say that. I think what I did was I changed the value of k, not the value of n, right? Yeah, makes sense. So basically, essentially what we're doing is k is equal to k mod nums.length. But simply we can just say that we use this instead. Yeah, okay. Go. Okay, we're still running into the same problem as before. Why is that? So, okay. Index 6 out of bounds for length 2. So we've normalized k, but we still use it like that here. So what's going on here? Index 6. But what is the test? Line 24 swap. It's fine. Line 16 to reverse. This part, yeah. And then line 7 to rotate. So this part. So when trying to swap from index 0 to k minus 1, for length 2. Oh, so this should be less than a right click? Right? Cool. Okay. Yeah, I just got that wrong somehow. Oh, okay. As hard as it may be, sometimes like just trying to switch your brain into that gear is important um, to get back in that mode. Okay, so we have 3 problems done, and we're almost at 2 hour mark. So depending on what the next problem is, I might stream. Okay, let me. I mean, even if we're not gonna solve it, we might as well just look at it, right? So I've never solved this problem before. I'm pretty sure. The problem is contiguous array. Given a binary array nums, return the maximum length of a contiguous subarray with an equal number of 0 and 1. Yeah, so even by just looking at it, if I'm not completely wrong, it does look pretty easy if we use a prefix sum. So for example, we start at 0 here, and then here we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we just wait, no it isn't. Oh wait, we need one with equal ones and equal zeros. Okay, that makes sense. And it has to be contiguous too. Okay. I guess so what makes that so complex is the name, yeah, is that part. The equal zeros and ones. So what I'm thinking is that you make a like a hash map mapping the frequencies. Or some sort of frequency counter. But then also I have to make sure that they're contiguous, that the quantity is the same, or the frequency is the same. Yeah, so I did say I was gonna end at 2 hours because I'm hungry. So these last 15 seconds, I'm just gonna say everyone that did stop by, thank you. Everyone that joined the Discord, thank you. Um, if anybody does join later on, that didn't get to do that, um, everyone that subscribed as well, thank you. Yeah, so if you end up seeing this stream and for some reason you skip to the end instead of seeing the start, thank you as well. And if you want to sub. If you want to join the Discord, you can do that too. And one last thing, I'm still looking for people to join the waiting list for the brand consistency AI tool that I'm working on. So !brandalyze will give you a link to that if you want to check it out. You want to join the waitlist, you want to try the demo. Yeah, you can do that too. So thanks to everyone that stopped by. I'll see you guys in the next stream.